I almost believed that I needed a $3,000 jointer to mill my own lumber until I found a setup that cost half as much and gave me the same results. Woodworking tools are expensive, especially if you want to mill your own lumber. Assuming you already own a table saw, the next big purchases are usually a jointer and a planer, and that's where costs start climbing fast. In my opinion, an 8-inch jointer is more than enough for a small shop. Most boards you'll work with are typically 6 to 8 inches wide anyway. Once you get into slab territory, you're usually better off making a trip to a professional shop with industrial size equipment, like a 40+ inch planer. But when I started, I didn't have the money for an 8-inch jointer. I didn't want an old, worn out machine full of issues. I wanted something in good condition with the helical cutter head because they provide a much smoother cut and are super easy to maintain. And even used 8-inch jointers in great shape were going for around 2,000 Canadian. Then there's transportation, renting a truck to bring it home. And once in your shop, most of them require a 240-volt outlet. Installing that alone can cost hundreds. For hobbyists not making money yet, that's a tough pill to swallow. So instead, I picked up a used 8-inch benchtop jointer for $350. At the time, I didn't realize how important a cast iron fence was, but I learned that pretty quickly. Without a solid cast iron fence, getting a true 90-degree edge and face has become a real challenge. When you're jointing 6-foot boards that are 6 to 8 inches wide, they're heavy. As you push them into the fence, an aluminum fence can flex or shift slightly. The second issue was bed length. A benchtop jointer just doesn't give you enough support. I constantly found boards lifting slightly at the front or back during a pass because the weight shifts as you start and finish the cut. At the beginning, you have to support the back. At the end, you have to make sure the overhanging weight isn't pulling the other side up. It's doable, but it's not easy. Setting the fence was another struggle. I'd square it to 90 degrees, tighten it down, and the act of tightening would move it just a hair. Then the next time I used it, I'd have to check it all over again because it had drifted. Even when it looked right, my glue-ups would tell a different story. So I started using workarounds. I'd mark boards with O and I for outside and inside faces, and alternate how I jointed each edge so errors would cancel out during glue-up. It worked, but it was annoying, and my OCD kept asking, why can't I just get a true 90 the proper way? Eventually, I decided to upgrade. I found a full-size cast iron 6-inch jointer in great condition for about $1,000, and honestly, it's been one of the best purchases I've ever made. Once I set that fence to 90 degrees, it stays there. The locking mechanism is solid, the weight of the wood doesn't move it, and the longer bed makes a huge difference. With 4 to 5 foot boards, I don't have to worry about the board shifting mid-pass. Even 6-foot boards are manageable. Still a bit challenging, but far more controlled. The machine is planted, stable, and just feels right. Now, if I have a board wider than 6 inches, I flatten the face using the benchtop jointer, and then I cut the 90-degree edge on the full-size 6-inch jointer. Honestly, I couldn't be happier with this setup. I saved a lot of money and still get perfect results. The same end result I would have had with an 8-inch machine. Yes, an 8-inch jointer is more powerful and can remove more material in a single pass. And with 2 machines, you need a bit more space and a bit more setup time. But for me, that's not an issue. I'm not producing at volume and no one's paying me by the hour. If you're running a production shop though, the 8-inch jointer makes sense. It'll save time on setup, milling, and ultimately increase profits. But for my situation, the numbers made more sense this way. In total, I spent about $1,350 on both jointers combined. At the time, the best deal I found for a good 8-inch jointer was around 2,000 Canadian, and that didn't include the estimated $600 to install a 240-volt outlet. So for almost half the total cost, I'm getting the same results. The only real trade-off is a bit of extra space and a little more milling time. And for me, that's a trade I'm happy to make.